Story 1. The midnight knock. The old motel stood off a forgotten stretch of highway, its neon sign flickering like a dying pulse. Sarah, a traveling saleswoman, pulled in late, exhausted after a grueling day. The lobby was dim, smelling faintly of stale cigarettes and something metallic. The clerk, a gaunt man with eyes that seemed to see too much, handed her a key to room 27 without a word. The room itself was a time capsule of faded floral wallpaper and a bed that sagged in the middle. Sarah didn't care. She just wanted to sleep. She unpacked quickly, brushed her teeth, and was about to drift off when a soft, persistent knocking began. Tap, tap, tap. Tap, tap, tap. It wasn't at her door. It was coming from inside the wall, right beside her head. Sarah sat bolt upright, heart pounding. She tried to rationalize it. Pipes, perhaps. But the rhythm was too deliberate, too human. She held her breath, listening. The knocking stopped. Just as she was about to lie back down, a whisper, faint but distinct, slithered through the wall. "Let me in." Sarah froze. Her blood ran cold. She scrambled out of bed, grabbing her phone, her fingers fumbling to dial. The whisper came again, closer this time, a raspy plea. "Please, just let me in." She could hear a faint scratching now, like fingernails dragging on plaster. Panic seized her. She threw on her clothes, snatched her bag, and burst out of the room, not even bothering to check out. She drove for hours. The image of that wall, and the voice behind it, burned into her mind. She never looked back, and she never stayed in an old motel again. The reflection in the mirror. Mark was on a cross-country road trip, and the small, independently owned motel seemed like a quaint, affordable option. Room 13, the clerk had said with a strange smile, was available. Mark, not superstitious, thought nothing of it. The room was clean enough, if a little dated. The large mirror above the dresser caught his attention. It was old, the slightly warped silvering that gave reflections a subtle, unsettling distortion. He shrugged it off, tossed his bags, and went out for dinner. That night, he woke suddenly, a chill seeping into the room despite the warm air. He felt a presence. His eyes darted around the dark room, landing on the mirror. In the faint light filtering from the street lamp outside, he saw it. It's not his own reflection, but a figure standing directly behind him. A woman, her face obscured by shadows, her hair long and disheveled. She was just standing there, unmoving, staring into the mirror. Mark's breath hitched. He couldn't move, couldn't scream. He squeezed his eyes shut, counting to 10, his heart hammering against his ribs. When he finally dared to open them, the reflection was gone. Only his own terrified face stared back. He spent the rest of the night huddled in a corner, facing away from the mirror, listening to every creak and groan of the old building. The next morning, he checked out at dawn, leaving a perfectly good night's sleep behind. Often wondered who the woman was, and why she chose to appear only in the reflection, never in the flesh. Story 3. The Unseen Guest. It was a last-minute booking, a generic chain motel on the outskirts of a bustling city. Emily was in town for a conference, and just needed a place to crash. Room 312 was standard, unremarkable. The first night was uneventful. Second night, things started. She'd leave her toothbrush on the sink, only to find it on the counter. Her book, left on the nightstand, would be on the floor in the morning. Small things, easily dismissed as her own forgetfulness or the quirks of a tired mind. Then, the cold spots began. Patches of air, intensely cold, would drift through the room even when the thermostat was set to a comfortable temperature. She'd feel a brush against her arm, a faint pressure on the bed beside her, only to find nothing there. One evening, she was getting ready for bed, her back to the door. She distinctly heard the click of the lock, followed by the soft creak of the door opening. She spun around, but the door was closed and locked. The final straw came on her last night. She was asleep when she was woken by a distinct, heavy sigh right next to her ear. It was a sound of profound sadness, and it was undeniably human. She threw off the covers, heart racing, saw a clear indentation on the pillow next to hers, as if someone had just lifted their head. Emily didn't sleep a wink after that. She sat up, lights on, until the first rays of dawn. She checked out the moment the front desk opened, never looking back at room 312. Forever wondering about the unseen guest who shared her space, and what sorrow kept them bound to that unremarkable motel room.